Yave Yosef es divasom ra el avihem v'Yisrael ohav es Yosef mikol banov kiven zekunim hu lo ve'asa lo kisones hasidim.
This is a series of talks on living Judaism, which means, first of all, Judaism which is alive, Torah which is alive to us, and living Judaism, how to live it. The first thing we notice when we come to the Torah, the first page of the Bible gives us the clue how to live, because it tells us in the sixth day of creation, the first man was created in the image of God, but Tzelem Elohim, the image of the Almighty. Of course, the commentators ask, how can it possibly be understood that man is created in the image of the Almighty? In another part of the Torah, we're told God has no image. What image can you give to the Almighty, to the Divine? But the commentators on the spot, in verse 26 of the first chapter of Bereshit, of Genesis, Rashi, for example, tells us that the image of God means the spiritual image of God. In understanding and in reasoning, we are in the image of the Divine. We can, by the exercise of our minds, direct our lives. We can set our own goals. The rest of creation, the animal creation, has preset, programmed goals. They can't change their goals. The human being rises above nature because he has the capacity to set his own goals. That's one aspect of the Tzelem Elohim, the image of God. Another aspect, one which will interest us very much in the beginning of this series, is that the Tzelem Elohim, the image of God, means the capacity to give, to be a giving being. Because what do we know of God? No one can probe the essence of the Divine. What we know of Hashem, our God, is what we get from Him. We know that we're continually being bestowed the bounty of life. The Divine, in Jewish concept, means that spiritual power which streams life and goodness into the universe and into us, into our veins, into our minds, that which keeps us alive from second to second. What is that force which pumps the blood through our veins 70 times every minute of our lives, from birth and before birth to 120 years when we leave this world and beyond? The life is kept in us. How? What from? A little imagination. This power of life is not created by us. It's coming into us. That gives us an inkling of the action of Hashem is concentrated in giving. Now, if God tells us we're created in the image of the Divine, the message to us is to make ourselves into giving beings. We only realize our true potential. We only come to human stature, the Adam, the human being, when we become giving beings. We're told in the Torah that our mission is to emulate Hashem, emulate the Divine. The first aspect of emulating the Divine, the focal point of all Torah and all spiritual growth, is first of all to make ourselves into giving people. Of course, we're born takers. We're all takers. A baby, a human baby, when born, immediately takes, wants, has needs which must be gratified. And unfortunately, many human beings never grow beyond that stage. They remain infantile throughout their adult lives because they're always conscious of their needs, and the instant gratification of those needs is what they want. Instant gratification is a word in the consumer society. We can give you it. You want it, you get it. The card, the credit card, don't mind about money, never mind about anything. Credit is there. You want it, here it is. The consumer society, based on taking, wanting and taking for yourself. The Torah wants us to outgrow this infantile state of humanity. We must shake ourselves free from the bourgeois society based on having. The Torah society, the Torah concept of humanity is based on being. To give is to be, because we become a human being with the potential of Tzelem Elohim. We come a step forward to realizing our full stature. Of course, we know in psychological literature much has been written about having and being. These two modes which the Torah has been talking about for centuries have become fashionable. Erich Fromm, for example, wrote a good book called To Have and To Be, in which he discusses the evils of our present society and the dangers which lurk in our electronic age if human beings remain takers, grabbing from our planet more than it can possibly give. Erich Fromm is very good on diagnosis. He's strong on diagnosis, but weak on cure. He does not give a prescription for overcoming this very basic difficulty. In this series of talks, we're going to show how the Torah has the prescription for changing ourselves, for making a revolutionary breakaway from the bourgeois bonds of our society of having, consuming, getting, and keeping, into the open, spiritual society, the Torah society of givers. What ways does the Torah suggest to realize the potential within us? First of all, there's the exercise of imagination, and then there is the practice. The imagination and practice together will lead us in the right direction. We must stretch our imaginations to realize what we are. What is our true being? And we must exercise our capacities for giving. We say that in Mishlei, in the Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon said in the book of Proverbs, B'tov leiv mishteh tomid. The man who is good of heart, the giver, is always at a banquet. Mishteh tomid is always at a chasana, is always at a celebration, because he's celebrating in the simcha of being alive in this universe, in God's universe. And therefore he's always in that state of excitement, of friendship, of friendliness to everybody. He's exercised his imagination. We see that we have this spark within us, every human being. Nobody lives only with taking, and nobody lives only with giving. There's always give and take in the world. But the difference is that the taker, when he gives in order to take. He only gives as much as he knows what he can get out of it, and he wants to get more out of it. The giver also takes, but he takes in order to give.